how would you react or feel when you figure out that a person who is important to you is a part of the LGBTQ+ community? Oh wait, you might not know what LGBTQ+ is. Let me have a chance to explain it to you then. LGBTQ+ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer or questioning, and plus represents other sexual orientation or gender identity such as pansexual, asexual, xgender, etc. Many people might have heard of the word gay describing a homosexual, meaning a person is attracted to someone of the same gender. The word gay describes both male and female homosexuals, but is most commonly used for males. Female homosexuals are often called lesbians. A bisexual person is attracted to both genders. A transgender person is one whose sense of personal identity and gender does not correspond with their birth sex. A queer person is someone who is not heterosexual, also referred to as straight, and/or not cisgender but is transgender. Questioning means that they are still not sure about their sexual orientation or gender identity. N+ describes that there are humongous amounts of other labels. Commonly, LGBTQ+ can also be addressed simply as LGBT. I hope you're not confused with all the information above and still remember my question. As I asked in the beginning, I believe various answers came up. Some of you might strongly disagree with the concept of LGBT, where on the other hand, some of you would not have any problems with it. I made this video because there are many problems that LGBT people face on a daily basis. In this video, I'll be explaining and giving some real-life examples, including my personal experiences of how LGBT people are treated around the world, primarily focusing on Japan. Some of the problems are, for instance, the fact that the LGBT people can be discriminated against just for who they truly are. There are countries in which they can be persecuted or even sentenced to death for being homosexual. What do LGBT people suffer with? Being a part of LGBT is not easy. Some LGBT people decide to come out, meaning to reveal their sexual orientation or gender identity, which originally comes from coming out from the closet, while many LGBT people hide their identity or cannot express it because of some circumstances. This is called being closeted. Being in a closet is not a pleasant thing, since you cannot express your true self. If you are a closeted gay male, and if you hang out with other male friends because that's what normal males do, you might have to talk about how attractive all these women are. And when it comes to your parents or your family, it is harder because you feel like you're not being honest with them. Hiding your identity and being scared of being revealed by somebody is very unpleasant. Some people are very scared of coming out just because they might be rejected. If it is their parents rejecting them, that will be a huge problem. Some gay people suffer with anxiety and depression. According to Anxiety and Depression Association of America, AADA, in the United States, somewhere between 30 and 60% of LGBT people deal or have dealt with anxiety and or depression at some point in their lives. That rate is 1.5 to 2.5 times higher than non-LGBT people. This is likely because it might be hard for them to accept their own sexuality or gender identity. They could be bullied, not feeling accepted or supported, or even rejected by family. Transgender people may suffer with gender dysphoria because some of them do not feel comfortable with their own body. They also have higher suicide rates compared to cisgender people. 22% to 43% of transgender people have attempted suicide in their lifetime, and 2/3 of transgender youth have self-harmed within a year, both as of 2015, according to the Center for Suicide Prevention. Also, according to the Williams Institute, 40% of the homeless youth in the US identify as LGBT, in which more than 2/3 of them either run away from their house because of family rejection, forced out by parents, or because of physical, emotional, or sexual abuse at home because of their sexual orientation or gender identity. Some data shows that parental support can decrease these percentages. Research shows that 57% of transgender youth without parental support attempt suicide, where with parental support, that number goes down to 4%, which is a huge difference. In Japan, the coming out rate is very low. According to the Japan LGBT Research Institute, 80% of LGBT people in Japan have not come out to anybody. This shows that the current environment in Japan is not very comfortable for LGBT people. Not only parents, but as a friend at school or a colleague at work, you could also show your support to them, which is just to interact with them like any other people. These little supports can be very helpful for LGBT people, and that is my own experience as well. Without help and support, I could not have come out to everybody and be confident about myself. Stereotypes. People who do not know a lot about gay people might say homosexuality is not something natural, it is something they were not born with. In fact, that is actually not true. Homosexuality can be seen in nature, from gay penguins in the Berlin Zoo, gay giraffes, gay dolphins to gay lions, and this has been observed both in captivity and in the wild. Also, there are many stereotypes about gay people around, most of them in which they are not true. For example, gay people are not attracted to all men, not all gay people act feminine, do makeups or dress like female. Gay people are not pedophiles nor zoophiles like how an American pastor called Steve Anderson say. And most importantly, we did not choose to be sexual minorities just because we wanted to. As a proof, I have stupidly tried to turn myself straight, which never worked, like many other people probably have. Toilets. Toilets can be an awkward place for transgender people. As they do not feel comfortable with their own body they were born with, it is extremely hard for them to be with people of the same sex, which can lead to depression, anxiety, and dysphoria. Note that the term gender means something that you identify yourself as, while the term sex defines your physical features. Because of this, transgender people tend to use gender-neutral toilets to avoid being uncomfortable in toilets where they feel like they don't belong. But when it comes to a situation where there are only male and female toilets, they might have to find the nearest gender-neutral toilet. As to avoid this inconvenience for transgender people, many of the LGBT-friendly countries have started to increase the amount of gender-neutral toilets. For instance, at Universiteit Utrecht in the Netherlands, they have introduced 3 types of toilets: female toilets, male toilets, and all-gender toilets in some of their campuses. The all-gender toilet can be used by anyone, even if they are not transgender. When female toilets have long queues, they can also use the all-gender toilets. All Nippon Airways, ANA, also introduced gender-free toilets in its lounge at Haneda Airport in Tokyo. School, workplace, and other discrimination. The discrimination of the LGBT community really differs between countries. In countries where homosexuality is widely accepted, there are fewer problems with it, but when it comes to countries like Japan and other conservative countries, it might be less accepted and sometimes discriminated. In Japan, there is discrimination, such as gay couples not being able to rent a flat, even though it is getting significantly better within the past few years. In other countries, it is possible that they get fired from their job, refuse services in stores, and in worst case, they can be attacked. Attacks happen in many countries too, even where same-sex marriage is allowed. For example, in the UK, a lesbian couple was assaulted on the bus by 5 male teenagers. In June 2016, a mass shooting in Orlando, the US, occurred in a gay club, which was the second deadliest mass shooting in modern US history. There are some countries where a person can be prosecuted for being a homosexual or conducting homosexual acts, which is, of course, much worse than other countries. In the US, surprisingly, 26 states and 3 territories do not prohibit employment discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity. Religion can also be a reason for discrimination. Many religions prohibit homosexuality. For example, some of the Christian churches, some of the Jewish synagogues, Islam, etc. The Bible's Old Testament, Leviticus 18:22, for instance, says, "You shall not lie with a male as with a woman, it is an abomination." This is the most common passage that is used by Abrahamism religious anti-homosexuals to argue against homosexuality. As the UN's Universal Declaration of Human Rights Article 18 stipulates, everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion, meaning each individual has their right to their own way of thinking. I am aware that there are numerous people who disagree with the idea of homosexuality, but that does not mean that homosexuals should be denied the same rights that heterosexuals are entitled to because of anti-homosexuals' beliefs. Marriage. Around the world, there are many countries where the same-sex marriage is not allowed. At present, that also includes Japan. Countries that legalize same-sex marriage are some Western European countries, Scandinavian countries, some South American countries, the US, Canada, some states in Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, Taiwan as the sole Asian country, and South Africa as the sole African country. The Netherlands was the first country that legalized same-sex marriage. 1.2 billion people have right to same-sex marriage in 29 countries and parts of Mexico, which is 16% of the world population, which is 7.5 billion. This is less than the population of the People's Republic of China or India. In Japan, same-sex marriage is not legalized. There are 27 municipalities and 2 prefectures, which is in total 114 municipalities, where same-sex partnership certification system is set as of the 7th of February 2020. That is 6.6% of the total number of Japanese municipalities. People might ask, what is the point of having a same-sex marriage? There are obviously several reasons for this. First, the financial factors. By getting married, the tax you have to pay will decrease a few percent. It will also be easier for them to take out a loan because banks consider families to be more reliable than unmarried people. The reason for this is that the married person will have more legal family members who can repay the loan for them when their renter fails to do so. There are also health factors which are very important when one of them gets sick or in an accident. In Japan, for instance, if they are married, they can go into the designated area of the hospital with their spouse. Some hospitals do allow same-sex couples to enter, since the Tokyo Metropolitan Government published the ordinance asking hospitals for their understanding towards LGBT people. But it is not always the case. In fact, this ordinance does not have any legal power, meaning many hospitals do not necessarily have to follow them. Then comes the legal factors. It might be very hard for gay couples to have or adopt a child. It is also very hard to have a contract together, and obviously they will never be recognized as a family, which can be very inconvenient in daily life. Also, after talking with same-sex couples, I have found out that having a legal relationship makes the couple feel more connected, which possibly could make the relationship more stable, and that is my own belief as well. By being able to marry, these issues above will be solved. If someone is against these rights when they are married, that simply leads to legal prosecution as discrimination. Marriage is a way to reassure your rights as a couple legally. Then, why are there controversies around same-sex marriage? People say about how the Bible says that the homosexuality is a sin, or people make unsupported arguments like, gay people do not even want marriage, etc. People should not be affected by one's religious beliefs, nor limited their rights because of them. This means, in my opinion, there aren't many valid controversies. Activism, Pride Parade, and Situation Now. Around the world, there are many LGBT activists standing up for LGBT rights and spreading its awareness. This includes some celebrities who came out as a member of LGBT, such as Ellen DeGeneres, an American comedian who is a lesbian, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, who is gay, and many others. The most significant event of the LGBT history is the Stonewall riots. This event occurred on the 28th of June 1969 in a gay bar in New York called Stonewall Inn, where several violent conflicts occurred between police and gay rights activists in front of the bar. At that time, homosexuality was not legal in the state of New York. As the riots progressed, it became widely known internationally as a symbol for LGBT rights, and since it occurred in June, June is now known as Pride Month. Since this memorable event took place, every year around June, people from all over the world celebrate their uniqueness and expressing their love in an event which is simply called the Pride or Gay Pride. Pride has been significant events for LGBT people where they can raise their voices for their rights. It is known for the Pride Parade in which people march around the city to celebrate. The word pride describes the idea that gay people should not keep their sexuality secret and that they should be proud of it instead. But from my personal view, many pride parades are sometimes over-sexualized and as a result are failing to achieve their goals. The word crazy might be a good word for describing them. I believe the real meaning for Pride is to celebrate how we, LGBT people, are ordinary human beings and want to raise positive awareness of the inequalities and discrimination we face so that all LGBT people can be supported and accepted by everybody, and so that we can get the same rights as straight people. By making it too crazy or over-sexualizing it would simply not make the impression of the LGBT community good, but actually making it worse. There are even photos that I cannot show you on this video because of its inappropriateness. I believe Pride should be something everyone, including heterosexual people, can enjoy and celebrate together to show our union and love. It should also be child-friendly, since there are many teenagers who are part of the LGBT community, and they should all be able to participate in it without being exposed to inappropriate things. What are goals by 2030? What we all are urged to have is equal rights. We want protection against discrimination. People are being harmed by somebody just because of their sexual orientation or gender identity, which is truly not acceptable. But sadly, in many countries, there are few or no laws that protect us. Everybody should be equal no matter what. We have a right to live like any other human beings. What I hope to be achieved by 2030, especially in Japan, is that people understand who we really are, and that the government shows a full support towards everybody, and that includes introducing same-sex marriage law. The good thing about the situation in Japan is that there are many municipalities which are introducing the same-sex partnership certification system. I hope that within at least the next 10 years, support for same-sex couples and the LGBT community as a whole will spread nationwide, and we will be able to have full legal marriages. Conclusion. In conclusion, everyone should be equal, respected and accepted under any circumstances. Therefore, there should never be discrimination against someone, especially just because of race, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity and wealth. We should all be celebrating diversity. In many countries, LGBT people are widely accepted. I truly hope that the whole world will be a comfortable place for all LGBT people. But in order for that to come true, people need to understand that LGBT people are not special, rare, nor abnormal. We are like anybody else. We are all humans. I hope I could deliver you messages on behalf of LGBT people, and that it is clear enough for you to understand the current condition and what we want. But please note that this is all my personal thoughts, and that there might be some other LGBT people who think differently. It would be very lovely if you can share this video with your friends, or anybody really, to help us raise more awareness about LGBT community. Also, feel free to leave your personal experiences in the comment section below and let us know what the current situation is for the LGBT community where you live. Now, thank you very much indeed for your full attention. Love is love. Spreading love and peace. Ciao.